Hello, today is day 29 of my Vlogtober. Welcome. Today is Wednesday and I am working from home. The weather is a bit miserable, it's raining. It's not very cold. So hopefully you've seen my vlog from Monday at Kew Gardens. It was really nice. So it was a 3 hours workshop. We were doing the corpse flower. It is beautiful. There was a sample there that Carrie made, Carrie from Toft made, and it was really pretty. And the project is challenging. This was my third Toft workshop, so I always found there a little bit more challenging, probably the project there. Definitely the flowers at least. So the passion flower, which I haven't finished yet, that we did in July, was more challenging than the usual project that I usually get to do, and this one was definitely challenging. It was fiddly and it had lots of change of color, and I'll get to it in a second. So yeah, I just wanted to do a little bit of an introduction. What else do I need to say about the introduction? We finished at 6 o'clock and then we were allowed to go on the Halloween trail at Kew. So Kew Gardens have organized this Halloween trail, which is 1.5 kilometers this year. I don't know if they do it every year, to be honest. I've never done it. I've never been there, especially at Halloween, so I wouldn't know. I know last year when they did the Toft workshop at Kew, it was in December, so they went to the light trail, so it was like a Christmas themed one, and I was told that it was actually much longer, so this was fairly short compared, but it felt long. It was getting really busy, so it's actually good that we went immediately. We kind of sped through because we all had to kind of travel out of London, so we had to get home. Michelle from Shelster Stitches adopted me. She was there with a couple of friends. I went through with them, which is actually good. I don't think I would have enjoyed it much going by myself. So that was really nice. It was a bit creepy at times. You will have seen it if you watched it. You would have seen it was a bit creepy. I was actually a bit worried when I published it last night because you can hear here and there, you can hear some music. That was just the music that was with the particular installation. It wasn't even a generic music, so it's only a snippet here or there. But I wanted to leave the actual original sound because it was part of the installation, and there were lots of like creepy sounds on top of the music, so it was somehow one of the scariest bits of it, really, the creepy sounds. So I really wanted to leave them to kind of try and give you that experience, but of course I knew there was some music in it, so I was like, well, let's just try and publish it, let's see. So before publishing, I saw that there was one of the music had been picked up by YouTube as a copyrighted music, but that I can use because I'm not monetized, obviously. So as long as I'm not monetized, that should be fine. If one day I ever, which is not gonna happen anytime soon, most probably, but if one day I ever get monetized, I might have to review that. And everything else has not been picked up, has not been flagged so far. And let's see. So if you suddenly see it disappear, is because of that. I will fix it. I will just remove the sound if that's the case. So far so good. So far I'm gonna leave it and then we will see. Anyway, it was enjoyable. Then I came back home. I had a nice dinner with Yanni, and then I was so tired. I think that doing that bubble stitch, which I'm gonna show you in a second, it was really brain consuming. So, well, I had worked in the morning, so I had already used at least a little bit of brain. And then, so basically you do increases, and at the same time you're also doing bubble stitches, but at the same time the bubble stitch is always in a different color. So you start with doing the bubble stitch in one color, which was the coral, so the pinky peachy, and then you also start adding orange. So you're doing the main bit in ruby, which is the color I just got for my Mrs. Claus and Santa, but obviously this is decay. The one I got for them is fine. So you do the ruby, you do the petal in ruby, and then basically every other row I think you add bubbles, and the bubbles only are first in coral and then both in coral and orange, so you actually have to switch and change colors twice. So changing color while you do the bubble is a little bit complicated. Luckily Carrie did a demo there which actually helped immensely on how to do it, so I wasn't struggling on how to do it. It's just literally doing it, it's a bit fiddly because it's still just a decay. You're using actually 3mm hook for it, so yeah, I think I've done a good job, but it's fiddly, so that's what is complicated about it. I had to go back a couple of rounds when I was halfway through because I misread one round, so I was doing it wrong, so I had to go back and redo it. By that point my ruby had half unraveled and it got all tangled up, so I tried to film that a little bit, and then I spent literally 20 minutes unraveling it, which I couldn't film because my hands were occupied. I would have liked to show you how long it took me to unravel it, but then it was fun. I was able to resume and I was able to finish the petal before the 3 hours. So some people managed to make 2 petals, some people made 1 petal, and they started doing like the arms of the flower. Some people started the body of the flower because it was just green, just normal increases, so it was easier. I would have continued with the body probably if I had finished the petal with lots of time to spare. That wasn't the case, so I just about managed to finish my petal, which made me quite happy. And now let's get around to it. Okay, so this is the pattern that we got on the table. This is your very pretty, and then this is the whole body. You get Carrie's signature always when you go to workshop, and this is the back, so lots of bubble stitching also in the back there, as you can see, and then you got long limbs. Then it was actually really pretty on the table. So similarly to how it was in July, we had this with all the wrapping paper. Let's see if I can show it from here. It doesn't look as pretty as it looked before. So yeah, I had to take out the stuffing because the hook was literally at the very bottom of it. This is my petal, and I'm very proud about it. So these are my bubbles. Well, when Carrie came around to have a look, people were asking because so some people, like the girl next to me, her bubbles weren't really popping out. They were a little bit flat looking. The other girl on the other side of me had her bubbles, it was showing the change of color like a little bit does here, but in my case it only does it there, and if you see, it doesn't do it, barely does it anywhere else, whereas for her it was showing, like the coral, which is this one, was showing everywhere, whereas I'm quite pleased in my case it didn't. So it actually looks quite good, and Carrie said mine was looking particularly good. It looks okay. My bubbles are a little bit aligned somehow, which I don't understand why, because I've been following the instructions as it is, but yeah, I mean, looks okay. I'm very pleased with it. This is my progress, and yeah, I think it's quite enjoyable, and I don't know, it kind of looks like also it's something that you can continue later on. Looks almost Christmassy if you want to consider that, because there's the ruby and then there's the bubbles. So yeah, so what you got? Well, you got stuffing, of course, then you got the ruby, which is the one I've been using. Then you got the coral, which is kind of a, yeah, very pale peachy pink. The light is not great. Let me readjust you. So I didn't mention I'm working is 12:48, so I'm on my lunch break now, and I don't know if you can see, and there, do you see there in that white and red blanket? That's Loki sleeping. That's Loki sleeping. Anyway, so okay, so this is the piece. This is the coral. This is the ruby. This is the orange. I really like it. I really like this orange. It's a very nice autumnal type of orange, as you can see. Yeah. Then, which I haven't opened yet, but I can see it's here, and this is the Toft hook. You get actually another ball of the ruby. You get another ball of the ruby, and then you get 2 balls of kale, which again is a lovely dark green. It's like a almost, I would say, almost pine green. Yeah. So 2 of these, and that's it. Yeah. Then, as an additional extra, so I didn't ask any of the girls around for their patch because I already have them, and I wanted actually to grab one for Petra, but I didn't remember which ones Petra had, and I don't want to get doubles because I don't think it's fair for the people who maybe don't have them. So I think next time I go, if Petra's not with me, I will ask in advance what is she missing. But when we will go at Christmas in December, we're both going to the Warwick one, both Petra and I, so we will see who's there and if we can get the patch. And so everyone on the table found this patch, which is called Lucy the Hare. And apparently this is a rare one, so people were really excited on social media before going to this workshop because they announced that Lucy would be there. So I think that's why they just decided to give it to everyone to avoid like people probably harassing poor Lucy. So what they usually do, like every patch is named for one of their team members, and so when you see the people with the patch at the workshop, I had no idea until I got to my first workshop, when you see the people with the one of the workers there, you can ask for a patch, but obviously they have a limited amount. So again, for the patches I now have a few, like 5, 6. So I've seen people with a tote bag with the patches on the tote bag, like so. Here's the instruction on how to put it on the tote bag. So yeah, I'm actually starting to think that a nice canvas bag, so not just a normal, like, you know, supermarket tote bag, like a nice canvas, thick canvas tote bag, maybe with a zipper or something, that can be your go-to bag for the workshops. I think that would be really, really cool to have all of the patches on it. Well, we will see. For now, they stay on their own card. They're all stored in a nice little Toft a pouch where I keep my Toft patches, but I'm also keeping the Toft patterns, at least the patterns I have in card, at least this size, because I mean these others are actually bigger. I don't think they fit in my pouch. So yeah, well, we will see about that. For now, these will go in the pouch. Yes, so wore my hat. I didn't win any prizes. I didn't even know there were prizes up for win. But yeah, most people did, and the people who won the prizes totally deserved it. It was amazing. I'm really, really in awe. I never really dressed up never really made my costume, never really thought about it. This year actually was the first time I did an attempt of making my own costume, which I think is already a big accomplishment for me. I made my own hat, so next year I can build up on it. I want to try and make myself like a cape or something like that, and maybe do a little bit of decoration on the hat. I see some had like a hanging pumpkin or skeleton or something like that. I'll think about it for next year. But yeah, now I have the hat, so I can build up on that. So an update on my secret project. Yesterday I was in the office, but on Monday my colleague who had the birthday same day as me last week messaged me saying that the present she ordered for me hadn't arrived yet. And I said, well, you know what, yours is not ready either, so let's do next week. So I gained an extra week to finish it, which is absolutely great. So I will be finishing that by then. So now I am starting, so yeah, now I'm already in my lunch break because I'm talking to you. So I will be continuing my lunch break, and I will be knitting a little bit on the secret project. So I am, I think this much, I will show you progress later on. I am this much into the body, and I want to do as much of the body as possible between today and tomorrow. So maybe by Friday I can do the ribbing, and then I have a couple more days to do the sleeves. It has a hood also, so hopefully I will be able to finish it by Tuesday. I don't have anything planned now. Tomorrow evening I have a dinner, like a friend is cooking for me for my birthday, so a belated birthday dinner, which I'm really looking forward to. So that's the only thing I've got planned. But for now I will say goodbye. I will go and knit on my jumper, and I will enjoy my lunch break. I do like to watch documentaries during my lunch break sometimes, and I feel today is a perfect day for that. So I'll be doing that, and later on I will share with you the 4 patterns of the day, as we are approaching the end of October, and we're also approaching the end of the pattern inspiration sharing that I prepared for you. So I'll talk to you a little bit later. It is just before 2 o'clock, and although it's not yet 2 o'clock, it's getting really dark. I think, yeah, it's because the weather is too bad today. So I thought, rather than waiting to the end of the day, I think it's just easier to use the last couple of minutes of my lunch break to share the mushroom inspired patterns of the day with you. So the 4 that I've selected for today, they are mushroom shaped, so they are stuffed mushrooms without eyes, so they are not characters, they are in the shape of a mushroom, and they are really cute. So we have, I think that, yeah, these are all crochet. So we have a mushroom amigurumi, which is available on Ravelry, and you get this pattern. It looks slightly different than all the ones we've seen so far. It has a very peculiar shape in comparison, so I think that's really cute. Again, I love the colorways chosen. Also has a free version of the pattern, so you can either buy the pattern as a Ravelry download, or you can visit the website of the designer to access the free version of these patterns. So this, yet again, another great stash busting pattern. Then we have some fun ones. So this is something new that we haven't seen yet in this collection, and I have a pattern to, actually there's two different ones. So the first one is, so I have two patterns for a bookmark. So the first one is a mushroom bookmark and garland, and is crochet and is available for free, and is available for free at the designer website, I think. So it's not available on Ravelry, but you can find it on the website. So you can have you can create it as a garland, you can create it as a bookmark. So there's a lot for potential for personalization here, which is great. And you can choose the colors you want, and it's tiny, so it's going to be stash busting project. However, you don't need to have much, so even if it's the end, they're very small leftover from project, you can use them for this, because I can see from here it's really tiny. So similarly, but probably using even less yarn, because I think this one is not even stuffed exactly, is a mushroom bookmark, also in crochet, also available either as a Ravelry download or for free. Again, I mean, stash busting to the very end. So maybe you had a leftover, maybe you made a stuffed mushroom with it, you still have a leftover with it, use the very, very tiny amount that is needed here. Here it says that if you use a Aran weight, you will need 12 yards in total, which I have no idea how much 12 yards is, but it sounds really, really small amount to me. And actually, this same designer has also a gnome. That also sounds interesting. So yeah, that's another one. Again, I think so far they've all been available for free, so that's great. And then the last one for the day, this again is a little bit peculiar, like a different style compared to the other mushrooms that we've seen so far this month, but at the same time it's also kind of traditional shape, because it's called the original granny mushroom, and it's literally a stuffed mushroom with a granny square head, let's say. And I love the color that the designer has done the sample in. I love the idea. Yes, I love this one. Again, another great stash busting project, because here if you change colors, you really again need a very, very minimal amount. Yeah, so here it says between 25 and 30 meters, which is between 27 and 33 yards. And here cotton has been used for this one, but I assume probably you can use any. And yeah, there's so many. If you scroll through the projects, that I love them all. And this is also available as a Ravelry download. So this is not a free pattern, it's a Ravelry download and it's paid for. However, if you buy it, and it's fairly inexpensive, so it is 5.5 Australian dollars, which is 2.85 pounds. But if you buy it, you also get a bonus free baby mushroom pattern. So it's the tiny version of it, which is absolutely adorable. So yes, I love this one. I don't think, I mean, obviously I chose the patterns, but they have been one better than the other. Like every single one of them have their own quirkiness and cuteness overload. Really, I love them all. I wish I could make them all. Anyway, these were the four patterns for today. There's not going to be much more to be shared today with you, so I've got work to do. I just want to just, you know, cuddle up and look at the rain and do my knitting. So that is what I will be doing when I'm done working today. Not very exciting at all, but yeah, I've had a couple of busy days, so I'm actually quite pleased to not have a busy day today. I'd like to wish you a very lovely, if you're around here, autumnal evening, or wherever you are, a lovely evening, and I will see you again tomorrow for day 30. Bye bye.